Hi everyone, welcome to class today. We're making the most of the sunshine outside. So I'll invite you to get started in a upright seated position. If you'd like anything to sit forward on, a block, bolster, cushion, it's up to you. We'll start with our eyes closed down. We can flip our palms either upwards or down, depending on what feels best to you in this moment. We'll take an inhale through the nose and full and complete exhale, giving yourself a moment to arrive on your mat, arrive in your practice, connect to your body, and connect to yourself. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Taking 2 more rounds of breath like this, just in your own pace. And at the end of your last exhale, we'll gently open up through our eyes. Good. From here, we can flip our palms down if they're facing open, and we'll start with a few nice big circles of our hips, moving one direction and then the other, just working into our side body, adding a bit of shoulder in there, warming up however feels best for you. And then switching directions, moving the opposite way. You can make this movement as big as you need, making sure that we're opening up through that side, keeping our hips glued down to our mat as we make these circles. Good. And coming back to a neutral position. From here, we're going to shrug our shoulders up. You can even close down your eyes, scrunch your fist, inhale, and exhale, side out. One more time for good measure. Inhale, crunching everything up, and exhale, side out. Good. Give yourself just a little shake of the shoulders. We're going to come over to hands and knees, or our tabletop position for Vinyasa. So starting off, hands and knees, nice neutral spine, so we're not arching quite yet, just neutral. Tops of your feet press down into your mat, and all 10 fingers plug in as well. So we're pressing away from our hands. As we exhale, we're going to round and curl, tuck our tailbone, arching our spine towards the sky. And then as we inhale, we slowly ripple through, pulling our chest forward, chin gently lifts. And then exhale, rounding and curling, pressing away, tops of your feet press down. As you inhale, slowly pulling your chest through as your spine ripples, chin gently lifts. Good. One more each time like this. Just moving at your own pace, whatever feels best. And then we're going to gently come back to a neutral position, and we're going to tuck our toes, lifting high through our hips, keeping our knees bent for downward facing dog, or our modified downward facing dog here. So keeping those knees bent to start, we're going to slowly walk out, dropping one heel while keeping the other leg bent. As we slowly switch, warming up through the back of our legs, through our spine, opening up our chest, pressing away from our hands. Good. Just taking a few more rounds here. And we lift high to both tiptoes once more. Lift your tailbone even higher, press away from your hands, and then drop both heels down towards your mat. Taking an inhale, full and complete exhale. From here, lifting high back to your tiptoes, bend your knees. We're walking our hands back to meet our feet at the back of our mat. Good. Stay in your forward fold. You can keep that bend in your knees. Grab opposite elbows and let your head hang nice and loose. Seeing if you can relax through the back of your neck, back of your spine. You can give a gentle sway from side to side if that feels good. Seeing if you can find a little bit of a release through your low spine and your mid-back. Taking a few more rounds of breath here. And then we're gonna slowly release our hands. Bend through your knees even more, and gently and slowly roll one vertebrae at a time, stacking nice and tall. Shoulders go up, back, and down. Inhale, reaching your hands up. Gaze lifts. And exhale, hinging from your hips, find your forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And exhale, walk back out to your downward facing dog. Good, pressing away from your hands, 2 rounds of breath. From here, we're gonna gently drop our knees down, coming forward to a tabletop. Good, toes go together, hips send all the way back for Balasana, child's pose. Forehead drops down towards your mat. Fingertips walk a little bit further away. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhale. Walking our fingertips out towards the right. Left hip stays down towards your heel, and then dropping your forehead down. Inhaling. And exhale. Walking our fingertips over towards the other side, nice and slow. Right hip stays down towards your right heel. Forehead drops. Inhaling. And exhale. Walking your hands back through center. All 10 fingers plug into your mat, pulling ourselves forward, back to tabletop. From here, elbows wrap back. We're going to send our chest forward as we bend through our elbows, dropping chin and chest, and then slide all the way through to our belly. Good. Tops of your feet press down into your mat. We're going to inhale, cobra, and exhale, release. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, release. Good. Pressing back up through tabletop. We're going to tuck our toes, lift our hips high, downward facing dog. Inhaling, and exhale. Lift high back to your tiptoes, look forward between your hands, and step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, we're gonna reach all the way nice and tall. And exhale, release your hands back down. Inhale, hands sweep up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a high plank. If high plank is too much, drop your knees down for a modified plank. Elbows wrap down, lower all the way to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Press back through tabletop. Lift your hips high, downward facing dog. 2 rounds of breath here, inhaling. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Lifting our left toes high, sweeping back, 3-legged down dog. Try to keep your hips square if you can. Left toes reaching away from you. Step that left foot forward and through between your hands. Drop your right knee down, low lunge. From here, see if you can lift tall. Tuck that tailbone under, and then find a bit more depth. Good. Maybe you can reach your hands nice and tall. Keep that belly in, chest and ribs are in line. Good. And we're going to release our hands down. Step back to a high plank. High plank's too much, lower your knees or stay lifted. Shift your weight forward, draw all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Press back up through your high plank, lifting your hips high, downward facing dog. Right toes float. Inhaling. And exhale. Right foot steps forward between your hands. One nice big step if you can. Drop your back knee down for low lunge. Coming up, if that feels all right, tucking your tailbone under, then finding a bit more depth. You can bring your hands up, relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. Inhaling and exhale. Good. Release your hands back down. See if you can step back to your high plank. Shift your weight forward. Chaturanga. All the way down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Pressing back through your high plank. Lifting your tailbone high, downward facing dog. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhale, lifting high, looking forward between your hands, stepping to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reaching all the way tall. Gaze lifts. Exhale, release. Inhale, reaching both hands up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping back to your high plank. Pause for a moment. Shift your weight forward. Lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Pressing back through high plank. Find your hips high, downward facing dog. Good. Left toes float. Three-legged down dog. Step that left foot through. This time, we're going to spin open to the side, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Tailbone tucks, feel like you're getting smushed together in a sandwich. Good, maybe finding a bit more depth. Good. Spin your right hand down as your right heel lifts, left hand sweeps open, twist. Shoulders away from your ear. And release that hand down. Step back to your high plank. Shift your weight forward. Chaturanga. All the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Press back through high plank. Lift your tailbone high. Downward facing dog. Right toes float. Step forward between your hands. This time we're spinning open to the side. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Tailbone tucks, then you find depth. Good. Left hand spins down to your mat as your left heel lifts. Right hand spins open for a twist. Inhale. And exhale, release. Step back to your high plank. Lower your knees, send your hips back. Balasana, child's pose. Inhaling and exhale. Good. We're going to slowly roll ourselves up to kneeling. We're going to get comfortable in either fire toes or just sitting back on your heels like so. I would recommend, if it's all right for you, to try sitting up on your toes like this. So this is to stretch through the bottoms of your feet, the soles of your feet, keeping your core engaged, chest tall. If you want to stay here and this is enough, that's all right. If you want a little bit more, we're going to cross our right arm underneath, left arm over top. Either give yourself a hug or start to work the backs of your palms towards each other. See if you can lift your elbows away, maybe even your palms spin towards each other. Good. This is a nice little shoulder stretch. Maybe inhale, lifting those hands up a touch more, and exhale, we're going to slowly unwind. We're staying in this kneeling position. This time left arm wraps under, right arm over top. You can give yourself a hug, and then your backs of your hands work towards each other, and then your palms work towards a bind. See if you can lift your elbows away and then up. Inhaling and exhale. We're going to slowly unwind, releasing our hands. Good. Just give those shoulders an up, back, and down. We're going to slowly come forward towards our hands and lift our toes. Don't let them touch the ground quite yet. Just let the blood return, the blood flow, get back to your toes. We've been on them for a while. And then we slowly tap out the tops of our feet. Good. From here, we're gonna work to a couple side stretches before we finish off practice. So, we're gonna start with our left leg out to the side, and our right foot comes in towards the middle. Sorry, just fidgeting around a little bit. Once you find this position, make sure you're sitting forward on your sit bones. We're going to sit tall, left hand grabs right ankle, right hand reaches nice towards the sky, long spine, and then we're going up and over towards the side. See if you can spin your chest open as your hand reaches past your toes. Inhaling and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Good. We're going to slowly release, nice and gentle, and then we're going to switch sides. So this time, right toes go out, left comes in. You can sit wider or narrower depending on what feels comfortable for your hips. Make sure that those right toes are pulling back towards you. Right hand grabs the left ankle. Left hand reaches nice and tall. Tall spine, reach up and over for your side stretch. See if you can spin your chest open. Inhaling and exhale. Couple more rounds of breath. I apologize for the loud cars behind me. And then we're going to slowly release. Come back sitting tall. Before we close off practice, we're going to take our wide-legged straddle splits. So only go as far as what feels comfortable for you today. Make sure we're sitting nice and tall. If this is enough here, stay here. Or we can work our way forward. We're going to stay here for a few rounds of breath, seeing if we can just find some stillness, an opportunity to connect back to your breath. Let your heart rate settle before we finish off practice. Good. Maybe finding a bit more depth, a bit more length through your spine, if that's possible. Just taking your time, not pushing anything too hard or far. Just finding the edge of what is comfortable. Good, and then we're going to slowly release, coming back up. I'll invite you to either take a shavasana if you like. We can lift our legs back and come to a laying down position. We can give ourselves a little hug, maybe a gentle rock from side to side. And if you're feeling complete here, you can finish off practice or take a shavasana. It's up to you, spending as much time as you need here today. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time on the mat.